Jerry from Phoenix has dropped us a line through our website. He's working on a really cool car. It's a lightweight Pontiac. Now he's talking about an aluminum hood, aluminum trunk, aluminum bumpers. Jerry, could this be one of those 421 Super Duties that you're working on? If it is, write us back. We want to hear all about it. Anyway, Jerry's got problems with the hood, can't find one, wants to know all about how to repair it. Well, you've come to the right place. Just come to the wrong guy. So we're going to drop in on Keith's. Hey, Keith.
Oh.
I know, man. Can I just interrupt you for a bit? Jerry from Phoenix is working on a kind of a cool car. It's a lightweight Pontiac. You ever heard of one of those?
Yeah, Super Duty car.
Yeah, I think so, but I don't have any details. Anyways, he's asked us a lot of questions about repairing his hood. Can't seem to find one.
Aluminum panels.
Yeah, and he's got some cracks and stuff. You're the go-to guy. You got some time?
Sure, I guess. When have I ever failed you before?
You haven't. Tell you what, I'll go get us a coffee if you can handle this one.
Sounds good to me.
All right, man.
Oh, Jerry, let's see if we can get this done before Tom comes back. I've got an aluminum door here off a Jaguar. It's got some damage to it. I don't know how extensive the damage is on your hood, but they are definitely repairable. There are people out there that can weld aluminum. You can use a TIG welder. It can be welded with a torch, provided you have the proper materials. There are fluxes available. Torch welding is a little bit iffy because if you don't get all of the flux out of the back of it, it's very corrosive and it can end up coming through the panel again after. That's why we prefer to use a TIG welder. As far as shrinking goes, we have a panel here in the center of the panel. It's got quite a bit of an oil can in it. It's because the panel has been repaired by too many people and it's been stretched out of shape. We're going to try and shrink it back a little bit. Aluminum can be shrunk cold, which is a lot better than steel. It's a lot more forgiving. We need a soft mallet so that when we hit the panel we don't cut it, and a soft shot bag on the top side so that the panel has somewhere to go. It sinks into the bag when you hit the bottom. And what we're going to do, we're going to try and form a tuck in the inside of the panel and then shrink it back down with a hammer and a dolly. Now this actually looks a lot worse than it is. These small dimples now have pulled the aluminum in together and we're kind of crowding it into one spot. And we'll take a reasonably flat, hard dolly. You've got to be careful not to hit on the edge of the dolly because it will cut the panel. And now we work around from the outside to the inside and very carefully, not hitting it too hard so you stretch it again. You force the aluminum back into the center of the dimple. Now you're probably going to have to do this, maybe 2 or 3 dozen times, but eventually the panel will come back into place. Well, Jerry, if your hood's been sitting around for 30 years, you're going to run into damage like this. You specifically asked about cracks in your hood. That's going to require some welding. We're looking into welding this with a TIG welder. First things first, we have to clean the area really well. We use a stainless steel brush for aluminum. If you use a regular steel brush, you can end up with deposits in the aluminum. The stainless steel seems to keep it a lot cleaner. So the first thing we're going to do is clean the area. Make sure the two surfaces meet nice and flush, and then we're going to go ahead and weld that with the TIG welder. Okay, so now we've got the crack welded. It's a nice even bead all the way across. All the build is where it should be. We'll take our file, finish up the edge a little bit, make sure that it fits the car, go ahead and prime it and paint it.
Well, that's not cracked.
Well, not anymore.
Oh, you know, it occurs to me maybe I should have stayed around and watched you do that.
Well, you never stuck around when there was work to be done before, Tom. So why start now?
Here's your coffee. That'll be $1.50, okay?
Yeah.
Turns out, Jerry, that you can work on this stuff, and if you can't do it yourself, there's some guys around who can do that?
There are quite a few qualified people to weld aluminum.